Welcome to Andy's Donuts, a podcast about everything, anything, and nothing in between. Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode. We're back with part three of our interview we started a couple of weeks ago. So let's get on with it. Do you have a book that changed your views about financial literacy, to put it that way?
Yes, I do have a book, and I would say this is the one that kind of helped me out. I'm not sure if this is the best book. I've read other books. I probably took a little bit from all the books I read, but I would say the one that kind of changed my way of thinking and made me make a plan is The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. I thought was a very simple book for somebody to understand, and it gives you a clear direction on what you need to do to achieve your financial goals.
Yeah, but I'm sure a lot of other people read it and they think it's impossible. They say, "Oh, I can't put money aside. I've got expenses. I don't have a big salary. It's not enough money, so I can't do it."
It's difficult, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. It's not something easy. It requires commitment, I would say, and it depends on each person where they are in life in general. If you have a lot of debt, you have to start with that. If you do not have with debt, you can skip that step. It all matters where you are in life, but money you find, if you put some money on the side, just like $50, you put them somewhere in an envelope and you hide them in the house. If you're not going to have that money, you're not going to spend them. At least that's kind of how I look at them. It's difficult. Humans are consumers. They always want to buy stuff. So it's not an easy thing. For me it worked. It's hard for me to tell somebody what to do.
We're not giving advice or anything. I'm just,
Correct.
trying
Exactly.
to understand your own experience. And people read books and then they say, "Oh, that's just a book. It can't be applied in real life, so we can't do it," and so on.
So yeah, for me, I don't know, it worked out to apply some of the concepts on from this book.
The first time you read it, did you think that it was actually possible to apply what you read in the book? Or have you had an aha moment or say, "Wow, yeah, that's right, I can do this," or "It's possible, yeah, it's doable"?
That's why I said I think this book kind of changed my perspective. I don't know, it was such an easy book to read and understand, and it kind of clicked to me and it made sense, and it didn't seem impossible to apply the concepts in that book actually.
So, what did you do first? How did you start implementing the plan in the book?
So for me, I had some debt. It was not a lot, but a decent amount. So I started to take each account that I had debt and start paying it off. And I started with the smallest one that I had. I paid it off, then I moved to the next one till I basically get rid of all my debt. And then the next step was to pay one of my cars off, which I did. And after all this, I started to put like money on the side.
So, are you debt free, or are you still in the process of paying your debt, basically?
It depends how you see debt. I still have a car to pay in my house, so then yes, I'm still in debt. But other than that, I do not have any other debt. No,
Oh, that's great. So, you haven't taken more debt, basically.
no, no.
Uh,
And I'm actually working to pay my other car faster than I need to, so I can take that money and use it on something else. And this is kind of coming back to what I was saying about the buckets. So you have a bucket for your house, you have a bucket for your car, you have a bucket for the stock market, you have a bucket for cash, you have a bucket for whatever else you have.
Too
So
many
when
buckets. How do you find the money to put in all of them?
and that's the thing, right? In the past, I had two cars. So soon as I paid all my debt and one car, I took that money and started to split it in the buckets.
Okay,
And
so Is your idea not to take more debt in the future? Are you done with that, or
Um,
depends?
only if it's for properties. Other than that, the idea is, well, yes, not to have debt, or maybe like for a car or something like that.
What about credit cards?
Never. No, never. I use credit cards on a daily basis, but no, I don't have any debt on it.
Great. Well, tell me about your holiday bucket then.
My holiday bucket. I cannot say I have a real bucket for that, but if there is leftover at the end of the day, after all these buckets, I think they got what they deserved. Then that money goes or stays in the bank, and when there is enough there, that's my holiday budget. That's where I go in a vacation, and that's kind of how it works on that side. In
So, how many
general,
holidays did you have this year, Fred?
uh, you're putting me on a hard stuff. People are gonna say that I'm gonna be a millionaire, but this year was kind of a special year. Was We saved some money to come back in Europe, and obviously that's quite expensive. Unfortunately, we could not go this year, so there was big bucket for holiday this year. So we actually had like 3 vacations, and we're about to go and visit my dad here in US. So probably there's gonna be a fourth one, but obviously each one is different. And when we go on vacation, we try not to spend that much money,
That's
even
a
if
big
it sounds.
bucket.
I know. That's why I said for this year was a big bucket, but in general we try to do maybe one or two a year. I think that's a very important part of life, to have some vacation, to disconnect and kind of enjoy a little bit too. It's not all about work and making money in life.
So, do you still want to become a billionaire?
I never wanted, and I this is not my goal.
So, you don't want to be a billionaire. You just want to be a millionaire.
Not even, to be honest. My goal is to have decent life, be able to go in vacation couple times a year, and
You
if I
already
could,
do that, Fred. You're already doing it. So,
yeah,
you're there.
and
You made
oh,
it.
I'm there. And my other goal,
Congratulations.
there's one more goal, and this is kind of what I'm working towards to, is to be able to retire at 50 or 55 the latest.
So, what does it means? What do you want to achieve? I mean, do you want to have like some kind of income where you don't have to work or something like that, or a
Correct.
retirement account
Yeah,
or
and correct, and that's my plan. So I already have retirement account. Obviously, that's why I'm investing in the stock market. That's why I want to invest in some properties. I want to build some assets that will bring me some income, and that will allow me to retire early, because I would like to be around my family that time, not work, or if I have a job, just to do something that I really, really enjoy, travel the world.
just a second. You said you want to retire at 50.
Correct.
So that's 10, 12 years
Correct. Hmm.
in the future. So is your plan going to make it? Is it going to work? Will you retire at 50 with enough money to live the life that you want in
I
10
can.
years? What's the secret? We want to know it.
I mean, I cannot answer the question. I do not know. This is something that we'll find out in 12 years. I don't know what's gonna happen if I keep investing in the stock market, and then I start looking at other potential things that can happen or invest. Maybe, but there's no guarantee. I'll have to try my best, and hopefully I will be able to do it, but there's not a guarantee.
But have you run some calculations to see how much you need to save and how much you need to get back, and how much income you might need to achieve that goal?
I mean, it's hard to know. Like, even if you do some math and calculation and everything. You don't know how big the inflation is gonna be. You don't know where the world is gonna be in 12, 15 years.
No, but
Like, look,
let's say, I mean, the only thing you need basically to be financially independent is to cover your monthly expenses with some passive income or something like that. So basically, with any type of income that might not require you to work. So in order to do that, so obviously you know what your expenses are, and then you have to calculate to see how much money you need in order to get that expenses covered on a monthly basis in order for you to be financially independent.
if I want to stay in the US, I'll need an X amount, but I could go in another country and probably need less.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm not saying that that's my plan, but it depends how you look at it.
If you move to Europe, in a European country, will that be cheaper for you? Or maybe back to Romania?
100% will be cheaper, yes. I will not need the same amount that I would need if I would like to retire here in the US.
So basically, you want to retire and move to a different country, like the people in England do, and retire in Spain, something like that.
I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm just saying that it's hard to put a number to it. I think you have to work towards it and kind of see where you are when you get close. And that's kind of my approach. I'm working towards it, and when I get there, I'll see where I am. I'll see what my options are. I will see if I can retire at 50. Maybe I'll have to do a couple more years or maybe more years or something.
Yeah, we'll see. It's not that far in the future. I mean, 10 years is just around the corner.
Uh, yeah, that's true. I mean, time flies, that's for sure. So my goal is just to work towards it and see where I am then. And if I'm lucky enough, I'll be able to do it. If not, I'll keep working.
That's good. The man with a plan.
Something that I think works for me. I know there's a lot more people that are a lot more organized and they put everything in numbers. They set up all kind of goals and short-term goals, long-term goals. It's everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of doing things. For me, an important part of my life is to try to enjoy some of the things. I think some of the things need to be done when they need to be done and you cannot do them later. So,
Right. I've got two questions for you.
mhm.
If you'll get enough money to retire tomorrow, will you still work? And the second one is, if you decide to work, even if you don't have to, what kind of work would you do, or what would you like to do for work if you don't have to work, but you just choose to work?
I would work. Yes, I would say yes, but I would like to work in sports, like something to do with sports. I don't know, analytics, work for a club. Like I'm in logistics right now. A few years back, 4 years maybe, I applied for a job at Glasgow Rangers for like a logistic manager. And I think that's something that I would like to do. I mean, probably still stay in my domain, but apply it to like a sports club, even if I would do something else, but be in like sports, be involved in sports somehow because I really enjoy that.
Right. So you have the experience, you have the qualification to do that. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
What's keeping you then? Why don't you work in sports?
opportunity to be the
Well,
right
have it.
guy and the right
What?
person. I've tried a few times, but these jobs don't come very often. Obviously, it's a very tight market, right? If the opportunity would ever arise, I would not have a doubt in my mind that I would do it. I would take that challenge. But in the same time, the job, it will have to be very family friendly. Even if it's something that I would really like to do, I do not want to go there and stay 15 hours a day. That's why I have the money to retire, to spend time with family.
Well, I'm sure you're working from home at the minute, so I don't
Right.
see that will be a problem in the future. So I'm sure you can work from home.
No, but I mean, if you get a new job, right, that may require for you to be I don't know, super
Yeah,
involved.
yeah.
Like some jobs and some things are, or some places where you work are a lot more demanding than others. So just depends.
Let's say if you just retire today and then tomorrow you can do whatever you like. So what you gonna do? Are you gonna apply for your dream job and then wait until a position comes on the market, or are you gonna do something else?
No, probably I would say for the 6 months, just relax, take care of family, visit a few places. That would be one thing, and then probably after 6 months, I'll start looking at something that I would really want to do.
Yeah,
But
but
for
let's
the
say this job that doesn't come that easy as you said. So what you
hmm?
gonna do? Are you gonna wait for the perfect opportunity, or are you gonna do something else in the meantime? Do you have any projects you would like to follow through, or are you gonna do something else? I don't know.
I mean, it kind of depends on what we're talking here. Is I'm gonna retire tomorrow with the amount of money I have right now.
No, no,
To
no. You're gonna retire with the money to cover your expenses, the
expenses.
monthly expenses. You still won't have more above that. So you basically you will only have money to cover your monthly expenses every month from
Mhm.
now on. But that's it. Nothing extra.
If that's the case, I would not retire.
We already agreed that you're not gonna retire and you're still gonna work. But I was just trying to ask you what kind of work will you do? I mean, will you change your workplace, or are you going to do something that you like?
As I said, I would do anything within sports. I would be willing to like start a career that I never done in my life if I would
So
get an opportunity.
will you be willing to go back to school? Will you be willing to move states or country or something like that?
Uh, Depends. I'd probably state here in US it depends where to. Countries again depends.
Depends on what, because it's tomorrow, it's today. You retire today. Depends on what. It's not in the future, it's now.
Then I would say no, I would not move in other state other than maybe Texas or Florida.
Okay, so are you going to apply today or tomorrow to a new job?
I would continue at my current job and actively searching.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I would never do something if I'm not sure about it, right? So this one, yes, we decided that I have my expenses covered, but it's not enough for me to have everything that I want. For that reason, I would not quit my job unless I would have something else lined up.
yeah. Well, you're okay. I mean, all the expenses are covered, including food and shelter. So it's nothing to worry about. You don't. I mean, you don't need anything else.
Would I have a budget for like vacations and all that in this retirement?
Well, I don't know. Depends on your expenses. Is
Well,
that
that's the
budget
thing.
included in your expenses? Then yes.
If that would be covered, like everything that I have now, like if I would have the income that I have right now, then I would probably take a break from work for 6 months
Okay, that's
to
good.
like think about myself, think about what I want to do, and then start looking for opportunities and other things to do.
That's great. Okay, Fred. I think we should stop here. It
Okay.
was great hearing you again. It was brilliant. Yeah, and good luck with your plan. I hope it will work out, and see you see you at 50.
We'll find out. I'm Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to talk with you all the time, and yeah, thanks for this opportunity. And I'm looking for maybe we'll talk again.
Of course, anytime. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for listening. See you around. Bye.